Got a stand right here. May as well make use of it. Probably should have set it up a little bit more before I started recording, but it's okay. This is just a video for me. So, what did I learn? It's been a while since I did one of these, but I should come up and practice a little a little bit more. And today I was just out with family. We're celebrating my mom's birthday, and so my dad took us out to Vancouver. We saw this orchestra playing some classical music. I'm not quite sure what it is. I was kind of reading there. I was reading Unshakable by Tony Robbins. It's a finance, kind of like a personal finance book, and like that's such it really dissolves your fear of investing into the stock market and really paves the way. I think it's a very, very good place to start because it shows you the opportunities. Like, this is, if you can maintain $300 a month, you're basically almost guaranteed to be a millionaire by the time you retire. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is I've been learning a little bit of copy and sales. And sales presentation goes through a certain type of flow. In order to connect with the audience or the person that's reading or the person that's listening to your presentation, you need to take them through a stage. Whether it's webinars or on your website or in a sales letter, there's 5 stages. If you break it down, you can break it down into those 5 different stages. So the first is the first is the intro, which is the hook that grabs their attention and draws them in. The second is a story. Basically, that's the time and place where you build rapport, build a relationship, and basically help them get to know you a little bit more so they connect with you. This is your story of how you went through hardships and your struggles to get to the place where you're at and how you can help them. The third is your credentials, not so much credentials, but it's your credit. What makes you above the rest? What makes you credible to help them? So that's where you put in testimonials, you put in your basically your credentials, what you know, support, social proof. Then there's the transition into the pitch. And the transition is important because a lot of times sales are lost because you go too much into detail. You start off with the intro, which is like, for example, in my website it says, what does it exactly say? It says, do you want more customers? Find out how to get your dream customers. And that's very broad. It doesn't tell you how. Is it through internet, word of mouth, through TV? And so that's a hook. It's broad. Then you go a little bit narrow into your story and you start talking about yourself, and they'll understand through that story what you're about and how you can help them. Then you get a little bit more detailed when you give them testimonials, because the people giving testimonials will say, oh, when Nick worked on my website, I improved it by 60% or something like that. So it gets pretty detailed, and you transition out of the detail back into the big picture is where what?
哇，咁冇嘅，呢係咪你嘅啲嘢
Yes.
Do you want it?
Yes.
Do you want to keep it?
Yes. I want it.
No, I try to clean up the computer room. There's a lot of paperwork.
Okay.
All right.
Alchemy 2. My dad just interrupted me. I'm pretty sure he didn't know what I was doing. So, I should really read these because these are fundamental in psychology. And it's by a guy named David Mills. The basic thing, if you really dissolve it, is building understanding in anything. If you're stuck, build understanding, which is different than, you're focusing on building understanding, not focusing on progress or different things or different outlooks. It all comes down to understanding, and the reason why you're not there where you want to be is because you lack understanding, whether it's understanding in action, understanding in knowledge, understanding in your environment that you're in right now. And so let's backtrack to the thing where you transition back into a bigger picture, and the pitch is not where you sell. If they've stuck through all those 4 levels already, they're sold already. They just want to know the price. So the reason that you call it a pitch is you're confirming the price with them. And you want to do it in a way where they perceive the value so much that they want a deal, because everyone wants a deal. He was giving a pretty cool story where he said he was wanting to buy a house. He was kind of ready. He wanted a house about $700,000. And so he was just looking so hard, and every time the deal would fall through and his wife, they were getting a little disheartened. And that happened for the course of 2 years. Well, at the end of 2 years, he found his dream house for $2 million. And so he put it down, and because he got sold, and then he walked out it with a pin in his stomach. And so, oh man, he didn't feel good. And 2-3 months later, nothing had happened. And so he was wondering what happened. So he called his lawyers, and they found out that he was really regretting his decision. And so he found out that they didn't want to go through with it. They made a mistake because they're losing $10,000. And then he got so mad. He wanted that because it was a good deal. Then he ended up getting the house. But the point is, he thought he was getting a good deal, and that's why he made the purchase, which is what you need to do in a pitch. Overwhelmingly good, overpriced in their perception. So, time's running out, and I'm done now.